we have him live and direct, sitting here with me, and that's our artist of the week. There you see him, Oluwaseyitan Lawrence.
Aletile.
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 Aleotile.
Aletile.
Aletile. That means it's not yet dark.
It's not yet night.
It's not yet dark, really.
Yeah.
Popularly called Seyi Law. He's a popular Nigerian comedian, actor, and content creator, known for his humorous takes on life, relationships, current events, what have you. He's widely followed on social media platforms and has gained a reputation for his witty observations and comedic timing.
There's something we didn't add.
What?
SSC. Senior Special Advisor.
Assistant.
Senior
Special
Special
Assistant to the Governor of
Ondo State.
Ondo State.
On entertainment and tourism.
Entertainment and tourism. Is it easy? Is it easy? Your Excellency.
And you know, I was in a movie for Ebony Life called Your Excellency.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Maybe I'm an excellency in waiting. But right now, we're still making our little contribution to the growth of entertainment and tourism in Ondo State.
Right. So, are you taking a break from all that to, perform your new role in Ondo State, or are you working side by side?
Oh, of course. I'm comedy pays the money. The role as a senior special assistant to Mr. Governor is more or less what I consider as my social responsibility to the people of Ondo State. So I believe that as somebody who's from Ondo State, the state has given me, give me something to be proud of. And the only thing I can do to give back to the state is to encourage and support other young talents, which I've been doing. Even before the appointment, I've been doing that. And since I got the appointment, there've been quite a lot of shows in Ondo State that I go back to perform for the younger comedians, and also try to bring the state to support entertainment in general. And so it's a good one to be able to do that. And, I tell people that I've gotten an appointment, but then I'd also spend my personal funds to support what I believe in the state. One time I told somebody I spent over 60 million on my personal fund since my appointment. And because people think, they take appointment because they want to make money. Sometimes we do these things because we believe that our state deserves to grow too. I want a situation where when you come into Nigeria and you see Lagos State, the next point of call should be Ondo State. In terms of entertainment, in terms of tourism. A lot of the young people in entertainment today are from the state. They are from Ondo State. Yeah, the likes of the Shola Shoboale, the Richard Ayomakun AY, the comedian that you know, the Kenny Black that you know, the Akpororo that you know, Seyi Law, the Yemi Blacks, a lot of us are from Ondo State. And people don't know this. The Small Doctor, the Bad Boy teams that you know, the Check that you know. So, because people don't know this, I don't think it's a good thing. I think if we're able to all go back and contribute, then our state will be better known, and people will want to associate.
Do you leverage on that, for them to help you contribute to make the state better, since, you are from Ondo State, they are from Ondo State, and you say, guys, I have this, I can't do it alone, let's work together.
Yeah, so that is part of my project for next year. What I tried to do for the first year of the appointment is to familiarize myself with the young talent that are within the state. So after that is done, then we can now go back and say, see, we've identified these young talents. You guys are big boys, you're big men, big women in the entertainment industry. Now come and support us. And we also have to revive some of the entertainment events that make the state bubble. And that is why I'm very excited with what Mr. Governor has done. We're bringing back the Mare Festival. that is happening in December, and then there's going to be the Ondo State Cultural Festival that will involve different states, and then there is another event that is coming that we culminate into the end of year event, which is the Sunshine crossover night. And so these are the things.
We're already promoting on the state, and you are not paying for that one. So
no, please. I personally take personal offense from that.
Yes.
I'm not from Ondo.
Okay.
But I'm an Ondo wife, so please.
As I was trying to say, Mr. Ladikalu,
I was not going to say anything.
You know who you are going to send the invoice to? Who is going to deliver it home?
I was not going to say anything, but now you spoke.
Yes, I have spoken.
You know, all those husbands are good people.
Please don't. We are not doing no nepotism here. No nepotism here. Thank you very much. But the interesting thing for me here today, Joke, you may not know this, is that Seyi Law is 20 years on stage.
Wow.
And that calls for a celebration.
Yes.
So when you recall your first day on stage, let's start from the decision to do comedy. How did that decision come to be?
Well, it's a story that is always interesting when I share it. First, in 2003, I decided to go into entertainment. And I started with dancing.
Oh, wow.
I'm trying to imagine a Seyi Law dancing.
I used to dance Makosa. You needed to see my thin waist. That was before the pot belly started showing. So I decided to, I started with dancing, and at some point I felt, I was acting in the church drama group. And every time my part comes on, it's always a time for laughter in the church. And so I said, okay, let me add acting to it. And I used to go from Orile, I go to the National Art Theatre to try and see if I could get a role with my 5x7 picture in my pocket. And that was where I met this guy who's also into comedy now. He goes by the name MC Danfo.
Oh, wow.
I was way back in 2003. We were all hustling together. At some point, he got a role to play the role of a gate man in a movie. I didn't get the role. I think my biggest achievement was the day the late Sam Loco sent me to get him a bottle of beer.
Wow.
I felt like I'd achieved a lot. This was a man that I adored, And so after about 2 years trying to do that, I fell back to doing my business center phone call at a relay bus stop. I was making phone call for people. And then one night I closed at about 11 and I went home and there was a movie on Snow White. And so I cracked a joke from that movie. And everybody in the house, I had a good laugh. And my cousin, who was a member of a music group called Port Images, said, you make us laugh. That people are making money from this thing. Okay, next Sunday, we're going to a church to perform. Come with us. When we go there, when they introduce us to perform, you go on stage, use about 5 minutes of our slot, then introduce us to come and perform. And I'd never, yes, I make people laugh in school, do a bit of MCs here and there, but I've never done it as a stand-up comedian. And that day was August 7th, 2005.
Wow.
I think it was August now, there about 2005, at a Redeemed Christian Church of God Church, New Life Parish at Ipori.
Wow.
In Lagos, yeah. And so I went on stage and I had people falling from their chairs when I was cracking joke.
So what material did you use? I think it was impromptu.
It was.
Look at your audience, so you had to be cautious,
because I was just confident. I just talk. I just pick things from the Bible. I talked about Lot and the wife. Okay. You understand? And all those
What
stuff.
did Lot's wife do to you?
I said if it was an Igbo man that the wife became salt, why Yoruba man would say he has become a salt and Yoruba man will be wrong?
To cook.
Igbo man will say, nah man, I cannot hear your mother's voice. So children be walking in front, let me reverse back. He will use his back to walk back and look at the wife, taste the salt. This is original salt. Well, in fact, this one is better than all the normal salt that we used to see. We will pack it inside bag and start selling it. And so I did those jokes then and all those stuff. And, it was a time, people had a good time. And as I was coming down from the stage, somebody approached me and said, can you come to our church to perform?
Wow.
And he said, we're going to pay you.
Huh?
And he said, how much will you say? I said, hold on. I went to meet my cousin. How much will I charge? You know, I didn't even know what to charge. And the person said, we'll give you 750 just for you to perform. It was 750 naira in 2005.
750 naira.
750 naira.
That was plenty money.
That time, in my head, I calculated the amount I make when I'm at the business center and I sit from 6 a.m. till 11 p.m. That my profit was just about 500. And then somebody said for just 10 minutes, they will give me 750. I said, I found a new calling. Now my Igbo man sense came in straight. I started calculating it. If I do 10 minutes, I can go to another church that same day, do 10 minutes. 1,500. Man, this is a business now. because this is business. And no wonder I had to marry an Igbo lady afterwards.
Wow.
To complement all the business things. You know, so that was how the decision started. I made Emeka Smith, you know, and when Emeka Smith invited me to his church that they were going to do something, which is one story that I always share, I was walking 2 weeks prior to the event. I was walking on the road, and somebody was calling Oluwaseyitan. I didn't know the person, so I didn't answer. That wasn't my name, you know. And then the person touched me and said, Oluwaseyitan. I said, that's not my name. He said, that's the name that God called you.
Wow.
You know, and 2 weeks after that incident, I went to Emeka Smith Church, and they didn't want me to perform. I had trekked from Ebutimeta to Aguda in Surulere.
Wow.
And I got there, I was sweaty, my trouser was up, you know, and my shirt was a little rumpled, you know, and I was wearing a palm slippers that was left with only the palm because the slippers has gone. You know? You know, and so Emeka took me to the other guys and said, this not the guy why they tell you, the guy funny. And you know, the leader of the group looked at me head to toe down and he said, no, this thing don't fit climb our altar now.
Jesus. That
was the word he used. But you know, as a Yoruba boy, I was groomed in the wisdom of Yoruba proverb. They say, you understand? So I know that, the insult could come. But I was looking at the church. I saw the crowd that were trooping into the church. And I said, I needed this platform. So at that time, whatever you say doesn't matter. Let me get the opportunity to be here. And I heard that then Shedi Baba was going to be in the church and Jedi was going to be in the church as their guest comedian. And guess who was on the drum set in that church was the person who produced the song for Clean the Drunk and the Goro, Obodoze Nugo, you know, and it was Soso Sobereko. He was the one on the drum. And so while we were waiting for the show to happen, they were waiting for Jedi to come. They didn't want to do their performance before Jedi arrives in the church. So there was a time lapse, a time gap. And then Soso just said, I just use this guy, fill the gap now. And so they said, okay, you should go on stage. And I went on stage. Luckily for me, I stepped on stage just about 1 minute into my performance. Jerry stepped into the hall. Shedi Baba came into the hall. Wow. And I had a standing ovation about 3 times in between my performance. People were standing and shouting. By the time I finished my performance, my stage name then was Seyi Easy.
It's not easy.
I said to say easy for no day at the platform. That was what I used to say. And Jerry ran on stage, heard me, and was like, man, this is a talent that was waiting to explode. Wow. And when we finished, when we were leaving the church, I was the one that Jedi heard, while they who brought him to the church were following behind. And at some point, Jedi said, what's your other name? I said, oh, Lawrence. He said, so why you can't say Seyi Easy? Why you not just Seyi Easy? He thought I said Seyi Easy. Oh. He said, why you not put Seyi and then Law from Lawrence and just say Seyi Law? I said, my name is not Seyi. He said, I thought your name is Oluwaseyitan. And that reminded me of what happened 2 weeks earlier. And that was when I went to change my name and I included Oluwaseyitan in my name. Wow. And the name has brought me more than I'd prayed for in my life at that time. And so from 2005, this is 2025, God has helped me to still be there, relevant, being mentioned amongst the comedians in Nigeria, outside the country and everywhere. God has been good.
So we will not say that we won't ask you all the questions today because we barely have 5 minutes. But so, how are you celebrating 20 years on stage?
The celebration started since June.
Oh.
Yes, the celebration started since June because I wanted it to pass into the month of August where the main thing started. And so I was in Abuja June 1st. We had Seyi Law, the Mike Tyson, which actually is another funny name. My younger colleague, Dikin Abino, who looked at me whenever I go to Abuja to perform, and he sees that I go on stage, and every time it was Seyi Law was killing the show. And so whenever I crack joke, one day I came down from the stage and said, Baba, bros, you be Mike Tyson. Mm-hmm. Every time you hold Mike, they use Mike, they destroy.
Oh, Mike.
Yeah, Mike Tyson.
Okay,
and so so when I was going to celebrate 20 years, I just said, no, this name you call me, I should use it to celebrate. And so I said the Mike Tyson. And we did June 1st in Abuja, and then we went to the UK. I was in Birmingham. It was another episode on its own, and then we went to London. It was crazy. I believe when I performed in London, Wema looked at me and he said, bros, these performers can go anywhere in the world. And so we decided Lagos, October 5th, 2025 at the Balmoral Hall, Federal Palace Hotel. We are going to celebrate 20 years on stage in the city where it all started. October 5th, 2025. It's amazing that it started in Lagos, which is probably one of the reasons why I'm always grateful to the government of Lagos State. And the things that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu started to make entertainment and nightlife good for us in Lagos State. So we're doing in Lagos State, and then there's going to be a homecoming in Ondo State on November 16th.
Don't do that advertising again.
But I want to bring our wife home.
Yes.
This one, she will be here on this program. In the meantime, I will talk about that one later. Let's see if that is even possible. I have plenty of SAN. Anyway, so you have influenced many yourself. I knew Jedi when Jedi was upcoming. At the time, and to imagine that he was even the one that named you, we're gonna come to him at the time. But the challenges of the industry are not just going to go away, and some of them. The fact that it's so easy to come into the industry, do you see it as a problem or an opportunity?
It's an opportunity, not a problem, and I'll tell you the reason. Comedy. People will believe that it is something that should come to you naturally, but people also can learn to be funny. Because when I started, yes, I was funny, but when I got into the job, I saw another dimension to the job. I saw the business aspect that I didn't see outside, and that was where meeting with Alibaba changed that perspective. And meeting with AY changed my orientation. So at that time, after I started, Jerry told me AY was going to do a comedy competition, and then he wanted me to register, and I registered. I became the first winner.
Wow.
September 9, 2006, I became the first winner of AY's Open Mic Comedy Competition. And what I tried to do was to learn through service. I'll go to AY's house, help him wash the car, sweep the house, and then I'll stay a while, then go home, and then I'll come again, and from coming to greet, spend a day, 2 days, and I started staying at his place, helping, and from there, I quickly was able to learn to register my company in 2007, do my invoicing, do corporate letter writing, do negotiations and all those stuff. And so it's one aspect of the business that AY brought from Alibaba, from his time from Alibaba, and I learned that from him. You understand? And I started understanding those who have been in the industry. I started seeing the audibility of Gordon's when he holds the microphone and he speaks into the microphone. If you are distracted, you want to look and listen. I saw the intelligence of I Go Die. I saw the branding aspect that Basket brought to the industry. I saw the event planning of AY. I saw the spoken English of Teju Babyface, Basot Charia Jr., Jedi and Co. And so I had to learn all these things and put it into a body called Seyi Law to become a great person?
I think we need another session. In fact, we need a panel session. By the way, let me put you on the spot. December 27th, will you be here in Lagos? The answer is yes. Thank you very much. So we'll see you on December 27th. You can now sign off your Baboko.
Yes, proudly so. Please. Proudly so. You have been listening to the unique, dynamic, very funny, making you laugh scatter. Oh God. The incredible Seyi Law. Hey, SSA. Hey, it's not easy.
Off camera.
It's difficult láti yọ bẹ́ẹ̀.
60 million. Anyway, thank you.
A pleasure having you. With your acquired name, Oluwaseyitan Lawrence Aletile. Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this time. Thank you for coming on our show.
Okay.
It's time to go. Don't be jealous.
After all that celebration,
yes, so
please, Mr. Adekalu, invoice this way. Amaya Makinde, enjoy the rest of your weekend.
And I'm Joke Rogers. Cheerio.